There are all kinds of snuff boxes. That's how the book about the black hen begins. Have you read the fairy tale about the black hen? You should read it. There are all kinds of snuff boxes. For some reason, that story made a big impression on me as a child. I don't know about you, but it really impressed me. So our lives can be very different too. And it turns out we live the way we deserve to. But we don't know that. We don't understand that. Because we weren't taught that as children. We weren't taught that our whole life is the result of our own merits. Our entire life is a creation of our mind. The way we create our life is the way we live. What did you think? How did you think your life was created? It's created through your mental abilities. If you don't have Marsha, then voila, what do you expect? Yes, we create our own lives and our own problems in life. But in reality, we create our own problems ourselves. Sometimes, though, when it comes to certain people, let's say for argument's sake, those who are on the list of people running the world. The world has its own leadership. The global government has certain lists of certain children who grow up, and then these children are the ones who have problems imposed on them to a greater extent. That's how it's done. That's the essence of it. You see, that's a different conversation altogether. It's quite complex and lengthy, and it should only be discussed with someone who has experienced it themselves, who has gone through it personally. But what I want to say is, look, all our muscles, we create problems for ourselves. When you have a sick child, first of all, for some reason you had a sick child, which means you did something wrong. That you had a sick child. This is important. It means you betrayed someone somewhere. You had a sick child. Somewhere you did something wrong. Mostly, it's because of betrayal. That's when you have a sick child. Yes, friends. As shameful as it is to admit to yourself, you have to acknowledge it. Next, there are our younger animals around us, cats and dogs, whom we either pet or give water to on a hot day, even when we're thirsty ourselves. But for some reason, you can just walk past a cat or a dog, not caring, thinking it'll find water somewhere, maybe drink from a puddle. But no, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. It was God who sent that cat, that dog to meet you. He put that dog in your path, the one you just kicked. Do you know why? Because tomorrow you'll be asking God to help you, to heal you, to cure your cancer, to cure your heart disease, or to help your child. And you think God will help you if when you were in the role of God for that dog or cat, you didn't help them, then God up there won't help you either. It's a matrix. It works on reciprocity. God won't help you. Don't even think about it. You see, not everything can be bought. You can buy a lot, but not everything. Some things just can't be bought. You see, they're kind of close. They're within reach of understanding, but you can't buy them because they're not for sale. If you want to gain knowledge, you have to pay for it. You think you don't have to pay because you've been taught not to pay for knowledge. In general education in Russia, the education is very poor. You thought it was good. That idea was imposed on you. But in reality, that's not the case. But most of all, ignorance happens at the everyday level. Tell me, who among you gives gifts? You arrive at a hotel. Do you leave a tip? No, you don't. After all, you pay for the room. So why should you? Especially when it comes to poor people. And for a poor person, this stinginess just suffocates them from the inside. Save a little here, save a little there. Friends, and tomorrow you'll want God to give you money, right? So that God will give you a contract. But you were stingy with the poor people who serve you at the hotel. These are poor people. They're not the ones getting the money for the fancy hotel you're staying in. They're not the ones getting it. They get their salary. And a little bit from you. So in this situation, you're also playing the role of God for them. but you just don't care. And then you wonder why you have no money yourself. So if you say things like that, you'll never have money. This is also a law, a sacred law, one that no one teaches you about. My mom taught me from childhood, to give gifts. To give gifts, and in general, good gifts to everyone. Not to give useless gifts, not to give trash. That's what my mom taught me. When I was going to someone's birthday, and where I'm from, in Chukotka, with gifts. What kind of gifts? Are you serious? It was better to buy a book. My mom always said, if you can't get anything else, buy a book. Or sometimes my mom would pick out a gift herself and give it to me to take to that family, meaning something that would be pleasant for the family. So from childhood, I was taught to give gifts. We lived in Chukotka. I'll say it again. We didn't go to Gum, to Tirsom, to Detski Mir. We couldn't buy those kinds of gifts. But whatever we could afford around us, we would buy. Even if it was just a pretty glass cup, we could buy it and give it as a gift. As for this particular gift, look, when you visit someone's home, do you typically bring them gifts? Hardly anyone does. But you absolutely should. Let's say it's your birthday. Yours. Did you give your mother flowers? It's your birthday. Let me repeat it again. Did you give your mother flowers? No. Your mother gave birth to you. You absolutely must knock some sense into yourself. You must give your mother flowers. You are obliged to congratulate your mother on this day, your birthday, and thank her for your birthday, for bringing you into this world. After all, your mom did her best for you, so you should do this. But we really struggle with gratitude. I understand that there were very hard times in Russia. People weren't taught to say thank you. People weren't taught to express gratitude. Let's say you give someone a gift. Well, say thank you. Say it 10 times if you have to. Or for example, let's say you came to visit me, right? You came over, you ate and drank at my place. And the next morning you are supposed to call or send a text message. Now you can text. Before, there were no texts, only phone calls, right? And thank them for having you over. You see, it's just like the hats. Since I was little, since childhood, I was dressed in hats, and so was my sister. I've worn hats my whole life, whether they suit me or not. Well, I wear them. Do you wear them? Of course, it's something you get used to from childhood. So hats are one thing, but if you haven't learned to give gifts and thank people 10 times for helping you somewhere, then at least start doing it now, so your children can pick up on it, and your children will have the ability to express gratitude, to know how to do it. This is very important. Then their lives will go differently. Teach your children to be grateful. Teach at any level. Teach. This is also important. These are some of the sacred knowledge of your behavior that will help you in life. Today is September 18th, 2025. I am Tanya Karasuba Said Burkan. Ask questions. Let's chat some more about these.